what up, solo creators? It's good to see you all, or talk to you all tonight, this afternoon, this morning, depending on where you are in the world. Hopefully you're all doing well. I'm doing well. Bored in my basement, but fortunately I have a pretty nice basement to be bored in. I'm working on some pretty cool, what I think are some pretty cool new videos coming up for all of you. I hate that color green in my shot. I just can't stand it there. Anyway, I'm working on some videos, some things for you all to try wherever you are while you're stuck inside, assuming you're still stuck inside. So anyway, we'll talk about that as we go in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to say hi to people in the chat. In the chat. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, all right. So Purple87, welcome. Small YouTuber, love watching. Thanks. Oh, that's awesome. I hope I'm helping you out so far. Let me know what specifically, like what some of your biggest struggles are, Purple. I'd really like to know, because I'm trying to focus my content to really help those of you who watch my videos as much as possible. So Julio, hey, welcome. Hi, Tori. Micro Ghost, the old codger, hello. Your screen name is awesome. Journeyman, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. So I'm glad y'all could make it. Of course, big news, DJI is releasing a new drone, probably the Mavic Air 2, April 24th. And then shortly after that, man, it's going to be a hard month on the wallet, because they're releasing that. And then shortly after that, for me, the Tamron 70 to 180 comes out, which I need to get to add to my kit. But just goodness, it's going to be a tough month on videos on the wallet. So, but it'll be fun. Good videos to film. And then I have some stuff being sent to me from Freewell that I'm looking forward to trying out and seeing what they've got. So, Purple, you need to find more time to shoot videos. You need time. That's one that all of us struggle with. So we can talk about that in a minute. So for everybody who's here, Wednesday night is time where we talk a little bit about what's going on, talk a little bit about what's coming in the news, it's related to photography, videography, drone stuff. But also I just want to interact with you all, talk with you all. If you have specific questions, if it's about something I covered already or something I reviewed, then ask me here and I'll give you my best answer that I can. If you've got questions about gear you want to buy, or things you want to do, things you want to try, then let me know that. If you have specific topics that you'd really like me to cover on future videos, that's also something you can throw out there, because yeah, I want to help you out the best I can. So Harrison Family Vlogs, good evening. You have time, you don't know what to shoot. So do you have a green screen? Because I'm shooting something. So I shot some things with a green screen because I've been wanting to try out different skills, because during this time, and this is what the next couple of videos are going to be about, but during this time when you can't really go out and do a lot of stuff, or you don't have a lot of work to do, what's the one thing you can do to really utilize this time well? And one is really developing and honing your skills for whatever you do, or try something out that you wouldn't normally try out. So for me, I was trying out some green screen stuff and some other things, and I haven't decided whether or not, you got to let me know if you want me to play the video in the chat. It's I'm a Star Wars fan. It's a very Star Warsy thing, but anyway, you got to let me know if you want me to play it or not. But so tonight, or today, other than my regular work stuff, because I am doing a lot of work from home, I was just setting up an interview section to shoot a video about how to shoot interviews. What a super simple, easy setup to use for shooting good quality interviews is. And it'll be fun. I'm getting to try out some skills that I don't ever use normally on videos that I create for clients or that I create for myself. And part of it is that I want to start including some of those things in future videos, just because it's different and it's an interesting way to be able to tell a story. But also, expanding your skill set, constantly be learning, constantly growing yourself is really what life is all about. If you just stop when you hit a certain plateau or you hit a certain level, then that's the slow downhill slide to nothingness. So let's see. Julio, you just bought a Mavic 2 Zoom as you already have the Pro. You can't believe you purchased the Zoom one day before the Mavic Air came out. So you can send it back. And I would think about it if I were you, because the Mavic Air 2 probably be a pretty decent drone. If it's a similar small form factor to the Mavic Air, but has better quality video, or at least as good a quality video as the Mavic Zoom, and if it has a like 30-minute flight time, I'll be thrilled. It would be a really good drone. So we'll see. But I've been having a blast with the Skydio lately. So, hey, Steep and Deep Outdoors, good to see you. Harrison Flame Vlog says I should play it. All right. Oh, man. Oh, man. Julio asks if there's anyone helping me during these live streams because they're really well set up. Just wondering. You're also really happy you could make the stream. I'm glad you could make the stream too, man. No, there's nobody helping me on these live streams. It's just me, my computer, camera. I use a Cam Link to get my camera into the computer, and yeah, just me sitting here. I pre-set up some stuff. There's some other things I'd love to do down the road, but it takes money and time, and I don't want to invest money in that specifically because it's bells and whistles. It's not anything super amazing or super fancy, but it's just bells and whistles that aren't really needed. So Steep and Deep Outdoors says tips on building a beginner FPV drone and controller, goggles, etc. that you need. Budget stuff. Okay. All right. I could look at doing that. Yeah, that's a really deep topic, actually. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to cover in that. Yeah. So that's a big one. But if you haven't already, Steep and Deep, you should check out. There's Joshua Bardwell has a great channel that does a lot of stuff about FPV. I mean, tons of stuff, like super in-depth stuff that's way above my head. He does a really good deal. And then there's a couple others out there too, but he's a really good one. And he's got some really simple drone setups that you can, and he walks you through step-by-step building them from beginning to end. And then if you look up his website, which is like FPV Know-It-All or something like that, and he really is an FPV know-it-all, you can find out all the stuff he recommends. And I agree. I've been using his site for that for a long time. So, but yeah. So he's Joshua Bardwell on YouTube. FPV Know-It-All is his website. So, Purple asks, any idea on the FAA remote ID and its progress or lack thereof because of COVID-19 and resistance from the community? So there was a lot of resistance from the community. The overall response, their response to that, other than their, having to go through every comment, seemed to be very much just suck it up. It's happening. Get used to it. We'll see. A lot of us, and you should too, absolutely, email, call, get in touch with your congressman, your senator, and just push on them from there, because that'll be the next step. Is if they get pushback from the people who appropriate the money, their budget, then they'll take a serious listen. Yeah, so that's kind of the next step. And, everything takes time. I'm sure it has slowed down because of all this stuff. I don't know how much, but yeah. Play it. All right, Brian. Urban Explorer. Hey, good to see you, Urban Explorer. Okay, so this is something I did it was just purely because so many of us are stuck inside. I'm making a video about it, but so many of us are stuck inside. What do you do with all of this time, especially if you are not working or don't have work or can't work as much as normal? I realize that puts a lot of pressure on people financially, but if you have a lot of extra time and you really can't do anything but be home in a lot of cases, then what are some things you could do to really get the most out of this time? Well, the most obvious one thing is spend time working on skills that you don't have, especially when it comes to videography or photography. Grab some toys out from your kids, set them in front of a screen with a blurry background and take pictures of them. Just see what you can do. So this is something I did. This is not a toy, but this is a life-size replica helmet that I've got. and I'm a big Star Wars fan. So I decided to create this the other day because it was 5 in the morning and I was bored, and I'm working on a video about how you can increase your skills during this time. So this is what I made. So that's it. A super short, super quick little, video. But the idea was I wanted to do something I hadn't done before, which is like green screen stuff, and trying to build my skills in layering in different CGI models and stuff like that, just to kind of see what I could create. So I had like 3 or 4 different CGI models in there. I layered it all in with the Starfield background and then the warp drive stuff, or not the warp drive, hyperspace stuff, wrong universe, and layered it all, put a video all together, and then played it on my TV while I sat in front of the TV with that helmet on, and then filmed myself from the back. And just the idea that you could create something that if you've ever seen The Empire Strikes Back, there's a scene way toward the end of the movie that it's not warp, he doesn't go into hyperspace or all that, but he's standing in a window looking outside at space and then looking around. And so my idea was just to kind of copy and mimic that scene sort of as close as I could. Now I went way further and got way carried away. But anyway, it was just fun to kind of test and push and see what I could do. So I was really happy with the results. The video coming up this week will show you kind of my process in going through that. And it's something you can do to try and expand your creative skills and see what else you can do. So I encourage you to try and do something you haven't done before. Just something out of the ordinary, whether it's like toy photography, miniature photography, anything like that, and be creative with it. And then if you do it, please tag me on Instagram or Twitter and let me know, because I would really like to see what you create and what you come up with. So I guess I'm going to be creating a challenge video here in my next video. But yeah, lots of people are doing it. I figured, why not? Julio, you asked if I have the Sigma 35 1.2. You have trouble with the autofocus with that lens. Clearly the lens doesn't talk to the camera the way it should because your images are just slightly out of focus. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have that lens. I have the Sigma 16 1.4, which is what I'm shooting this on right now. And it has been good overall. The autofocus is pretty quick. It's slower than other lenses, but it's quick enough for stuff like this. And it's extremely sharp when it gets focus. I mean, when it hits focus, it hits it right, and it's really, really sharp. So it's a good lens. Is the Sigma 35 1.2 that you're using, is it made for the camera you're using, or are you having to use an adapter for it? So Purple, Brian, Cody. Hey, Cody. You guys say nice. Awesome. No, this was not in After Effects. I don't use After Effects. I don't use Premiere Pro. This was just purely in Final Cut. Yeah. So Final Cut, some green screen stuff, and more time than I'd care to admit, but it was fun. Purple, one of your pain points is color grading for beginners and making all the shots that look similar between your Canon M50, GoPro Hero 7, and Mavic Pro. What program do you use, Purple? What program are you editing in and color grading in? Because yeah, I'm definitely curious about that. So one you're using Adobe Premiere Pro. Oh, okay. I don't know if Adobe has that. I'm pretty sure they do, but if the first biggest thing you need to make sure is that your white balance is set the same across everything. If your white balance is set differently between different cameras, it will throw off everything, and it'll be tons of work to get it to match and be close to right when you come back. So make sure your white balance is set, and make sure it's not on auto white balance. Any of them are on auto white balance. Set them, if you're out in the sun, set them at 5,600. If you're in the shade, set them at 6,000 or 6,500 or something like that. Just get them set, get your white balances set so they're the same all the way across the board. That will eliminate, that will eliminate a lot of your problems getting your white balance set. And then the next thing is, if you have people in there, if, masking out an area. In fact, Sydney Dionson did a great video about color grading recently, if you follow his channel. But it's mask out an area of skin, not the shade side, but like the well-lit side. And then if you look on your color wheels and your color chart, there's what they call the skin tone line, and it's kind of, I do everything backwards. Anyway, it's pointing off one direction. And if you get your skin tone line, you want it to line up right on that line. When you mask out everything, but all you can see is a skin, you want it to be right on that line. You want it to fall right on that line. So that's another way to kind of look at it and do that. And then, but if you're doing lots of things between like, close-up shots of people and then far away shots with the drone where it's a big wide shot and stuff, it's okay if they're a different enough shot that they're going to look different because they're from very different perspectives. But if your white balance is the same, that will help you out tremendously. So, Julio, you just switched to Premiere and you're freaking out because it's a steep learning curve. Premiere is a steep learning curve. I'm happy with Final Cut. I've been with Final Cut for years now, and I'm very happy with it. Julio, your lens is made for the camera. Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. I would, can you manually focus it and get it really nailed in? Like if you use the manual focus, can you dial it right in to be where it's perfectly tack sharp? Because if you can't, that would say that some of your lens elements are maybe just a little out of alignment, but okay, you can. Some cameras allow you to like fine tune the focus alignment, depending on what camera you're using. That might be something you could play around with a little bit. But other than that, you didn't drop it recently, did you? Hope not. I did, like my Tamron 70-28, I had an issue with it where it would focus and then it would back focus, like way back focus. It would go out. And so I finally had to send it in to Tamron. They fixed it under warranty, all that. It was great. They were really good. But it was, it was not focusing on me, but it was an issue with the focus motors. So let me grab mine. So, the ad lens on a Sony a7 III, which is the camera that you use it for. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. This stream may not last long because everybody in the world is using internet. But anyway, I was going to say, you can see my little road. I got my lapel mic taped under here because I was recording with it. Anyway, you can look now. I don't remember if there's a way to, off the top of my head, if there's a way to align. Oh, you can do the autofocus. Try this. It's in tab 1, page 8 over, and you can do the autofocus micro adjustment. So try that and mess around with that and see if you can get that to, you should, oops, I'm going to turn that back off because I don't want to mess my stuff up. You should be able to adjust the focus a little bit with your lens and get it nailed in there so it's really nice and tight. Hopefully that helps. Very curious now. If you can't get it tweaked in with there, then you might need to send your lens in for servicing. That was weird. everything just stopped. Like my computer was still working and everything, but then it just like our internet just stopped, and now it's working again. So excuse the pause. Okay, for those of I know a lot of you here are drone enthusiasts, people who love drones and stuff like that. So by a show of hands, how many of you are looking to buy the Mavic Air 2 or excited to buy the Mavic Air 2? Assuming that's what DJI is releasing next week. I'm pretty sure they are. I don't know. I probably might. That's as detailed as I can get on that. I would like to. Depends on what it could do, but I might do it and then get it and like put it up against the Mavic Pro 2 and the Skydio and just kind of see what it can do. Purple, you're holding off for the Mavic 3. Oh man, I hope the Mavic 3. I really want the Mavic 3, the image quality to bump up to the Phantom 4 Pro quality that the Phantom 4 Pro had. I would love it. I don't really care if it shoots higher than 4K or not, but I would love it if it was as sharp and as clean an image as the Phantom 4 Pro, and if it had a global shutter, that would be fantastic. We'll see. I hope so, though. That'd be great. You are, Julio. Nice. Awesome. Well, stay tuned, because I might get one, too, and try and do it all out. Micro Ghost, you're not interested, only interested in new drone if it would be better than Mavic 2 Pro. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm like, I'm kind of sitting too. Like I have a Mavic 2 Pro, which is fantastic. I love it. I've got the Skydio, which is a very different beast, but using it for what it's designed for is fantastic, and I love it. I needed to learn some new adjectives. The Mavic Air 2, the only reason I could see jumping into the Mavic Air 2 is if it's smaller than the Mavic Pro, has a good flight time and really good image quality, it would be easy to throw in a bag and take it places with you. But if all it does is, you know, like 4K like it does already, the original did, which I like the original, it was great, but has a longer flight time and maybe better obstacle avoidance, then I don't know. It just, my one big beef with the Mavic Air, the original, was the cold weather issues that it had. It really struggled with cold weather, and the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Pro 2 are fantastic with cold weather. So, hey, Paul, welcome. Lawn dinner, you don't think that it'll bring anything amazing to the table? Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that myself. I don't know how amazing it will be. We'll see. So... if you break anything, it's gone, Julio. Yeah, I know, man. Right now, it's hard to do anything. I need to, yeah, I've got some stuff I got to mail out, and man, it's been hard to really do much. So, Paul, I think you answered my question in another venue, but are you excited about the 70 to 180, Paul? Are you getting the 70 to 180? Very curious. Lawn dinner, the 1/2 sensor. Yeah, I don't think it'll have any other sensor than that. But if they redid the optics to where it was a little bit better than the original Mavic Air, that would be kind of cool. The original Mavic Air, like, it was decent, and it was a big step up from the Mavic Pro, the original Mavic Pro. Like, it did much better with 100 megabit than the Mavic Pro did. But the Mavic Air 2, I don't know, it really has to do something amazing, and I don't see that they're, I don't know that it's going to be that incredible. We'll see. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Paul. Well, we're all theorizing, but Paul, DJI announced that they're announcing a new product. Let's see. What are they new? It's April 24th, and I'm trying to remember what they're calling it. They're like, live the dream. Oh, it's Up Your Game. That was really far off. Up Your Game. So yeah, they announced Up Your Game, which is, if you look at the picture, it looks like the back end of or maybe the front end of a drone for sure. There's like props on the side and stuff like that. So, it's April 27th. I've been saying 24th this whole time. It's April 27th. So they're releasing it announcing it April 27th. So, and the sound is like Up Your Game. Woohoo. So we'll see. I don't know. I honestly, like, with everything going on in the world, I think it's going to be tough for them to release a new product and really do much with it, I would think. But who knows? So, Julio, do I use any LUTs? I don't. I took the picture profile in Sony and I tweaked it until I got this beautiful image and the image you see when I'm out and about. I using LUTs is a lot of extra work for me for this type of stuff, and so I don't typically. I just kind of run with it as it is. I set the white balance and then the settings that I built into the picture profile. There are some good LUTs out there. Everything about it, what I do is like it's time sensitive, and I got to move fast and edit fast and turn around stuff fast, and so that's kind of where I am. Yeah. So, Paul, the 70 to 180, you want it, you've not pre-ordered it, you don't have any gear funds right now. Oh man, I know. However, getting some requests for digital walkthroughs for open houses. Cool. So we'll see. So one thing I'm working on for open houses is FPV fly-throughs with a just little cine drone, FPV drone. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll only work in certain types of houses, larger houses mostly, but I think it'd be really cool. I think it would be really different to see the whole house showed off that way. So, Lon, if you had nothing, a Mavic Air, Mavic Pro, Spark, Mavic Mini, then sure, but with a Mavic Pro 2 Pro, nah. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. It's redundant. If you have the Mavic Mini, maybe not. But if you have a Mavic Pro 2 or Mavic 2 Zoom, Mavic 2 Pro, then it is pretty redundant. Unless it does something just amazing. But usually they don't do that. They'll just add a few little bells and whistles, a little bit of extra stuff, and then that's it. Paul, interesting. What's interesting, Paul? Yes, I did, Paul. I have been waiting for that lens for a while. I have the funds set aside, thankfully. And so I talked to my local camera shop here, and I just said, look, I know it's going to be announced. And I did the same thing with the 17 to 28. I said, put my name on the list. As soon as you get one, I'll come in and pick it up and buy it. And so they've been really great about getting one to me like the day they get it, the day they get the first one. So, yeah. Let's see. Microcodger, you made one LUT for your Mavic Mini that adds a little more contrast and saturation to make it nearly match the output of your Mavic 2 Pro. Interesting. I know I've seen some great stuff with the Mavic Mini. People have done a little bit of work on the image, and it does a really good job. And yeah, and that's what I do a lot with a lot of the videos I shoot. Rather than a LUT, is I start with this, make sure it's exposed well, and then I go home and just tweak the shadows a little bit and the highlights a little bit, and I pretty much get exactly where I want to be on most things. I do the same thing with my Mavic Pro 2 as well. Whatever. Julio, you'll have to leave right now. This is way late for you. Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well and stay safe. I'll see you next stream. Paul, interesting, the FPV drones in houses. Yeah, it is interesting. I had a chance this last week. I was originally booked to go to another city to fly in and do some video work for a company. That got axed. Well, it didn't get axed. It got put on hold until this whole thing kind of clears up. But it was a big warehouse shop manufacturing type deal, and so that was going to be the first place I was going to do it, was fly the FPV drone through the shop, showing off a lot of what they do in this huge manufacturing area, and I thought that'd be really cool. So. Lon, do I use any variable NDs for my cameras or Mavic 2 Pro? So I think you and I talked about the variable NDs from Freewell. I do have one coming. I'm going to test it out and try it out because I want to see. I've not heard great things about variable NDs for drones, which makes sense to me. I do use variable NDs on my cameras when I have to. And so I have a Freewell one and a Polar Pro one. Those are my two go-tos. I have some standard ND filters too that I'll use for like time lapses and things like that. I finally got some NDs for my GoPro for when I do the FPV stuff. And other than that, for the Mavic 2, I have just been using standard ND filters from Polar Pro, I guess, is where I've got these from. So yeah, but I haven't used the variable NDs. I want to try the gradient filters. I want to try the gradient filters, where it's, you know, more ND on top, less on the bottom, so you can expose it a little bit differently. Yeah. Jake, so there's a stimulus check coming, maybe same price as that. Well, that's what I hear. I guess we'll see. Yeah, if you get direct deposit, if you did direct deposit for your taxes, then I guess you probably already got them. Journeyman, your friend in Texas, says the stimulus checks came in, the highway backup at Best Buy, and the tax refund. DJ, I will do okay. All right, you make a good point there. Yeah, between tax refunds and all that, yeah, you're not wrong. So let's see. Lawn dinner, use Freewell variable ND filters on your Mavic 2 because the filters are so hard to get on and off. They are. So Micro Ghost, I'm curious how the variable ND has worked out for you, because that's kind of what I would like to do, to just carry one ND filter and not have to mess around with it on my drone. So yeah, let me know. Let's see. Hey, bud. Welcome to the stream. Lon, you have the Polar Pro gradients. You've never used them? Yeah. I mean, I only see those being useful really in photos, but it would be kind of cool. So, Freewells have banding issues for you? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think you and I talked about that a while back. You have them for your Polar Pro and you love them. I lost my chat. There we go. You'll leave the lowest one on all the time on the lowest setting, but rarely need to get a stronger one at all. Yeah, so that's the thing for me, is because I'm out on the snow a lot, like my lighting changes dramatically, especially in the wintertime. So I end up using a lot of different ND filters. But then sometimes I'm just like, you know what, the heck with it. I don't use any ND filters at all, and I just crank the shutter speed up like crazy, which is not the best thing, but it, you know, it is what it is. So the lowest one, best 3 pieces of advice you can give a small channel to gain some more traction. Purple. Oh, good one. So the best things you could do to gain some traction as a small channel is, one, be really consistent and get, you know, put content out there consistently, make it really good content. You know, make the content the best you can possibly make it. And then really, if you can, depending on, well, biggest thing is narrow down what you're targeting. Like, don't do a thing about everything. Really narrow it down. Like, if you want to start off with just talking about one particular camera, and just do everything you can on that particular camera, how to use it, settings, setup, everything, as an example. So Brian Peterson. Anyway, that's the best way to kind of start out, is really, really hunker down. Oh gosh, I don't even use that word, but really niche down and focus your content on one particular thing. And if you get a new piece of gear, a new camera, like one that's just released, then doing a lot of stuff on that particular piece of gear right away really helps, because it helps you rank higher in search volume. So, yeah. Bud Bieber, I mentioned the Sony RX100 last time. What about the Canon G7 Mark II? That's a great. The Canon G7 Mark II is a really great camera, actually. It's yeah, that's you definitely won't be sorry with that one either. So Micro Ghost, you think the highest value in the lower one is about ND8? You rarely use anything higher than that. Yeah, and that's yeah, a lot of times I sit at the ND8 level, and then but occasionally, especially if I'm out on snow, I have to push it to ND32 or ND64, which is really hard. Paul, thoughts on the DD release announcement April 21st? Do I think they will make a wireless Go competition wireless lav? Man, I hope so. I really hope so. So I'm using the Rode Wireless Go right now. I was using it to film some stuff today. The Rode Wireless Go is fantastic. It's my favorite tiny wireless system there is. Just as far as the small form factor, I've got another one by Asden, which is also really good, but it's a little different uses. It's not quite as small a form factor. So, but for this, it's great. I would love to see DD put out a really small form factor wireless unit. If it had a little bit better range, that'd be amazing. And pair it with one of their new lavalier mics that I would just love to get my hands on one of those. The new lav mics look amazing. So, let's see. Purple, you're a body car channel, Monte Carlo, Buick Grand National, and that's your niche. So yeah, so when you're starting to do that, like start looking for what people are searching for in that niche, like specific things they're looking for, how to improve this, anything like that, and then start creating content around those search terms. That'll really help you get discovered and help you go. And then if you know like there are forums out there that are centered on those types of things, then go be part of those forums. Don't be out there and be like, hey, this is my YouTube video, this is my YouTube video, this is my YouTube video, but go be part of the forums and then, have your YouTube thing in your profile link or whatever. But then as you go, you can always, if there's a section to post videos and photos, you can start doing that, and that'll help especially. So actually, I got one of my highest viewed videos was a video I did in just a few seconds. I was like, here's the Mavic Pro controller. Here's my iPad mini. You shove it in, click the thing in, and it fits and holds it, and you can fly your Mavic Pro with a Mavic mini. That video ended up on MavicPilots.com, I think is a forum. And anytime anybody ever asked whether or not the Mavic Air, Mavic Pro 2 controllers can fit an iPad without a special thing, the admin of that forum would post my video because it was a 2-minute video. I was just like, hey, this is how you do it. It's really easy. It fits and it works. And so that was, I got lots of traffic that way. Still get traffic that way, actually. But that was kind of how my channel started growing way back when. But I didn't know anything then. So if I knew what I knew now back then, I'd probably be at 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, Drone Made Studios, just dropping in to say hi. Glad to see these always pop up on your feed. Hey, thanks for stopping to say hi. Glad you did. Hey, Mark H. You're really late. Nah, no worries. Who's keeping track of time anymore anyway? None of us get to go and do anything anywhere. It's like time has become a relative construct of our imaginations at this point. I feel like in this quarantine, it feels like the Groundhog Day is exactly a really good analogy for what a lot of us are going through right now. So, you have a YouTube video, bud, picking corn this fall with over 7,000 views. What's up with that? I don't know. That's really wild. So it's funny you mention that, bud, because I have a friend who's in these videos a lot, Keith, who he was down on a beach filming him and some friends doing short takeoffs and short landings. And the video is like 2 minutes long. And it's just a buddy of his flying in a really short takeoff, really short landing airplane, a STOL aircraft. He lands on the beach, powers up, flies off, does it again, and that's the video. He had posted that video on his YouTube channel a long time ago, years and years and years ago, and just nothing. And then like after it had been on his YouTube channel for a year, all of a sudden, overnight, it got 200,000 or 300,000 views, just like that. And I guess it got shared in some forum for Stoll Aircraft, and then it just kind of went nuts from there. But it was funny because it's like he woke up and he was like, "What the heck is going on?" So you never really know how that's gonna happen, but it happens. So Paul, I should be at 100,000 subs. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. What day is it? Yeah. Well, Mark, it's definitely yeah. There you go, bud. Lon says all the city folk don't ever see corn picking, so everybody's looking and wondering what is going on. That's got to be what it is. Hey, Oz Beach Andy, good to see you. Welcome. Mark H, on the Mavic 2 Pro, any tips on keeping the focus locked in all the time? Sometimes it's hard to remember to hit that button. Yeah, it's oh man. So I have it set that anytime I start and stop recording, it'll pre-focus. I don't remember what it's called. I think they call it autofocus. It's not really autofocus, but so anytime I hit the button, it'll focus and then start recording. So I always know the first couple seconds of all my footage is junk because it's the drone focusing. And then I go from there. So one way you can help it make sure it stays in focus is use a slightly higher f-stop on the aperture. If you go up to like f-stop 5.6 in that range, which actually kind of makes the drone looks a little sharper anyway. But if you do that, then there'll be a bigger field, a depth of field of focus, a bigger area of focus. And so that's a really good thing to do too. And I do that sometimes if I'm shooting in broad daylight. I'll crank the aperture up to f6, f5.6, f6, f7, f8, somewhere in there, and do that. Microghost, you have your C1 button set to focus? Yeah, I have one of my C buttons. I don't remember set to focus too, and I do that. Lon, sure, bud, then you can visit me and you'll show you how to avoid getting mugged. Jeez, Lon. Good grief. And then you all can go up here and we'll show you how to not get killed, stomped to death by a moose or mauled by a bear. How about that? That'll be fun. We can all experience life from our different respective perspectives. Anyway. Oh my gosh, yeah. So, in all serious, like, this whole thing that's going on it's insane. It's crazy, and it's wild. But I will say, I mean, I hope you all are doing well and being safe through all this, and I hope you're not going crazy. I've definitely found that I'm starting to go a little stir crazy too. So, Bud, you wait, I got to read this here. Something just popped up. Let's see, Bud, you were going to take a photo class to understand this kind of talk, but no, thank you. But no, thank you, Virus. I'm sorry, Bud. You know what? If you want to learn, I mean, I'll be happy to try and help you out as much as I can. So, aperture is the thing. It's the little blades that close down the iris of the lens. So the more wide open they are, the better it is at low light. So f2.8 is really open, lets a lot of light in. And then you get down to like f11, f16, it's tiny and lets way less light in, so it's better for brighter days. But it also makes the field of focus, like how much of your image is in focus, vastly gigantic. Whereas at f2.8, it's actually quite small. So when you're shooting a lot of stuff at infinity, like way out there, it doesn't matter. But when you're shooting stuff close up, it does matter. Save it. All right, then. Anyway, let's see. Micro goes, you have a great place in the middle of nowhere to shelter in place. You can fly your drone from the back of your house. Nice, Micro Ghost. I'm glad to hear it. Let's see. I think I am going to try and go out to the bush, my dad's bush cabin here soon, just to take my kids out there. We'll get away from the city for a few days and disappear. Hey, Bruce Jones. Welcome. Let's see. Paul, you can record more YouTube content when working 7:30 to 4 p.m. every day at work versus taking care of your 2-year-old all day? Oh, yes. If you're taking care of a kid, they are amazing at utilizing all of their facilities to take all of your attention and time from everything. It doesn't matter how many times I tell my kids now, and they're older, like how many times I tell them now, look, I'm recording a video, don't come in here, or I'm live streaming, don't come in here, don't knock on the door, anything. 2 minutes after I start, and without fail, I'll hear on the outside of my door, Daddy is like, oh my gosh, I just said, but it is what it is. So, Micro Ghost, you get some incredible wildflower videos on your morning walk. Nice. Lon, dear Lord, you people. Oh my gosh. And I'll have to check out your, let's see, can I go? Oh, Micro Ghost, I can't go from to your channel from here, but I will shortly because I would like to go see that. I would like to see that indeed. I can't. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try right now. I can't look things up and do things at the same time. Paul, you can't trade it for anything. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You really can't. Child-free program there, bud. I bet you sleep well at night, bud. Oh my gosh. Well, hey, it's been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy that next video that's coming up, which is going to be me goofing off, trying out a bunch of different skills and challenging you to try out different skills while you're at home doing things or doing nothing, depending on what your particular case might be. But, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight and being part of this live stream, chatting with me. It's been a blast. I really enjoy it. I hope you do too. I hope you got a question answered or something. So I will see you all again, same time, same place next week for the live stream. Absolutely purple. I hope to see you next week. And yeah, until then, like, be safe, be careful, have fun, enjoy every moment you can. And till then, I'll say cheers. Thanks for everybody. Bye.